Hi, you're welcome to GMats class. Now let's look at bearings and distances. Now what is bearing? Bearing of a point is just the direction of that point. Now or we say bearing of a point is the angle between the reference line and the line of the point, where the reference line is just the line in the direction of the North Pole. And let's look at it. If we have an origin, let's say O, where this one is the cardinal point, we have the end pole, the east pole, the south, and the west. And this is O. Now, bearing of a point P. If I want to get the bearing of this point, it is the angle between the North Pole, the line of the North Pole, and the line of the reference of the point we are looking for. Now we are looking for the direction of this point. Okay, so it's just this angle here, the angle swept by line OP. Okay, so now bearing of P is the angle between line NO and the line PO. Alright, or we say is the angle NOP. Okay, suppose the point P is around this place. Now, the bearing of this is just the angle from the North Pole down to this line OP, because this is the point that we are to determine the bearing. Okay, so the angle made with the North Pole, right? So that is all about the definition of bearing. Now let us look at some questions on bearing. Now what we have here, the bearing of point the bearing of point A from B is 340 degrees. What is the bearing of B from A? Bearing of point A from B is 340 degrees. What is the bearing of B from A? Now to do this, the first thing I need to take note is what determine another. What point determine another point? Now look at this. B will determine the position of A. Why? Because A will take the bearing of A from B. So if we don't know where B is, we cannot take the bearing of A. So A takes its bearing from point B. So that means the first point we are going to draw here between A and B is B. So this is point B. This is point B. And this is the north direction, east, south, and west. Now, don't forget, between north and east, the angle here is 90 degrees. Between east and south is 90. Between south and west, 90 degrees. Between west and north is 90 degrees. So from north back to north will give us 360 degrees. Okay, so now the bearing of point A from B. So this is point B. We want to read the bearing 340. So don't forget, you start your reading from the North Pole. We are reading 340. So it goes this way from the North Pole, 90, 180, down to 270, and we are going to 340. So 340 should be around this place. So now point A So point A will be here. All right. So this will be point A. So this is 340 degrees. So the bearing of A from B is 340 degrees. Now, the question now says, what is the bearing of B from A? From A, the bearing of B from A. So you go straight to A. You want to take the bearing of this B from A. So come down to A and start your reading from the North Pole. So you start moving from the North Pole until you get to the line that is connecting the 2 points together. So this is line AB. Line AB. So this is the bearing of B from A. Now, don't forget, from here to here is 90 degrees. From north to east is 90 degrees. So we need to get this small angle here. So this angle here is alternate to this. So this angle here is alternate to this angle. So how do we get that? This place is 20 degrees. Because a complete revolution is 360. So we just say 360 minus 340 degrees. That gives you 20 degrees. So that means this place is 20 degrees. And if this is 20 degrees, it means that this place now is going to be 70 degrees. That's 90 minus 70, minus 20. So 90 minus 20. So this is 70 degrees. So the angle here is alternate to this angle. So this place is 70 degrees. Okay. So the bearing of B from A will now be 90 degrees plus 70 degrees. And that gives you 160 degrees. So the bearing of B from A is 160 degrees. Now let's look at the second question. Now Paul is on a bearing of 65 degrees from Mark. Obtain the bearing of Mark from Paul. Obtain the bearing of Mark from Paul. Now let us look at what we have. Paul is on a bearing of 65 from Mark. So what point are we going to locate first? That is going to be Mark, because Mark will determine the position of Paul, because it's from Mark that we know where Paul is. So all we just need to do is just go to Mark and take a reading of 65 degrees. So now let's locate the position of Mark. Now let's call Mark M. So Mark is around this place. Say this M. This Mark. So, and this is the North Pole. Okay, so now you are going to take a reading of 65 degrees. So you start from here, from the North Pole, read 65. So 65 should be around this place. So Paul will be here. This is the position of Paul. So this is 65 degrees. So Paul is here because the bearing of Paul from Mark is 65 degrees. Now the question now says, obtain the bearing of Mark from Paul. From Paul. So I will go straight to Paul and start the reading from the North Pole until I get to the line that is connecting the two of them. So start moving 90, 180 plus this small angle. Okay, So that is going to be the bearing of Mark from Paul. So from here to this place is 180. So 180. So I just need this small angle because this is 90, 90, 180. So I need this angle. So look at it. This angle here is alternate to this. So the angle here and the angle here are equal. So that means this place is going to be 65 degrees. So now the bearing of Mark from Paul will be 160 degrees plus 65 degrees. And that is going to give us 245 degrees. 245 degrees. That is the bearing of Mark from Paul. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do. Share these videos with your friend, like and also comment. Thanks.